Fiction's most brutal wars explained. The Invincible War is one of the most brutal, absolutely chaotic events in comic history. It all starts with one guy holding a massive grudge, Angstrom Levy. He doesn't just want to kill Mark Grayson. He wants to completely shatter his entire existence. So he hops across the multiverse and rounds up 16 evil, alternate reality versions of Invincible. And then he just drops them on Earth, all at once. This isn't a normal invasion, it's an absolute slaughter. You have 16 Kryptonian-level threats flying around the globe, ripping cities out of the ground, collapsing monuments, and instantly vaporizing anyone in their path. The heroes of Earth step up, but they are completely outclassed. Global destruction happens in a matter of minutes. The turning point only comes when the surviving heroes finally manage to trap or kill the variants. But the damage is already permanent. Millions are dead. Major cities are craters, and the real Invincible is framed for all of it. Earth survived, but Mark Grayson's legacy was buried in the rubble. Now, you might think global destruction is bad, but it gets worse. Enter the human Forerunner War from the Halo universe. This wasn't just a battle over territory, it was a cosmic-level misunderstanding that doomed the galaxy. Ancient humanity is running for its life from an unstoppable parasitic nightmare known as the Flood. To stop the infection from spreading, humans start orbital bombing and glassing entire planets. The problem? Some of those planets belong to the Forerunners. The Forerunners have no idea what the Flood is. They just see humans burning their worlds, so they retaliate with absolute, overwhelming force. We are talking about two galactic titans ripping entire star systems apart. Humanity is forced to fight a two-front war against the ultimate parasite and the galaxy's most advanced military. The climax hits when humanity is completely crushed and forcibly devolved back into cavemen by the Forerunners as punishment. But the moment the Forerunners lower their weapons, the Flood comes out of the shadows, and they realize they just destroyed the only species that knew how to fight back. They won the war and signed their own death warrant. Some conflicts drag on for millennia, but the Great War in the Fallout universe took exactly 2 hours. It's the late 21st century and the world is bleeding dry. The USA and China are locked in a desperate, vicious standoff over the absolute last scraps of oil and uranium on the planet. Things go from bad to worse to completely insane when the paranoia peaks and someone, somewhere, finally pushes the button. Nobody even knows who launched first, it didn't matter. In a single afternoon, the sky fills with nuclear fire. Every major city on Earth is erased in a blinding flash. There are no grand strategies, no heroic final stands. Just two superpowers stubbornly refusing to back down until the entire planet is sterilized. The world's population is vaporized instantly, leaving only a lucky few trapped in underground vaults to inherit a toxic, mutated nightmare. Because war never changes. But if you want to talk about a war fueled by absolute fanaticism, the Dune Holy War or Muad'Dib's Jihad is on another level. This is not a political dispute, it is a religious slaughter sweeping across the stars. It starts when Paul Atreides takes the throne, unlocking his godlike prescience and unleashing his fanatic desert warriors, the Fremen, onto the universe. And this is where things go completely wrong. The Fremen don't just want to conquer, they want to purify. They launch a galactic crusade in Paul's name, and it is a complete extermination of anyone who refuses to bow. We are talking about dozens of entire planets sterilized and religions completely wiped from the history books. The death toll reaches a staggering 61 billion people. The most insane part? Paul can see the future. He knows this nightmare is happening. He hates it, but he is entirely powerless to stop the unstoppable momentum of his own worshippers. He conquered the universe, but turned it into a graveyard. Now, what if the deadliest war in history was just a giant puppet show? The Clone Wars from Star Wars looks like a classic fight between the Galactic Republic and the Separatist Alliance. You have billions of battle droids swarming across planets, fighting millions of genetically engineered clone troopers. Whole star systems are dragged into absolute chaos, economies crash, and Jedi are fighting on the front lines every single day. But here's the catch. The entire war is a scam. Chancellor Palpatine is secretly pulling the strings on both sides, playing galactic chess against himself. He funds the droids, he orders the clones, and he directs the battles to perfectly exhaust the galaxy. The climax hits with Order 66, a secret command that forces the clones to slaughter their Jedi generals in cold blood. The Republic dies to thunderous applause and is instantly reorganized into the Empire. It was a galaxy-wide war, and the winner was decided before the first shot was ever fired. If you want absolute, unfiltered despair, look no further than the final war in Devilman Crybaby. This is humans versus demons, and it is the textbook definition of absolute chaos. It all kicks off when Satan broadcasts the existence of demons to the entire world. Humanity doesn't unite. They immediately turn on each other. Paranoia infects the globe. Governments collapse, and people start butchering their neighbors out of sheer terror. Nuclear strikes wipe out whole countries as humanity essentially does the demons' job for them. Once society is completely broken, the demons rise up and slaughter whatever is left. The climax is an earth-shattering brawl between Akira and Satan, tearing the atmosphere apart, but it doesn't even matter. Humanity goes completely extinct. There is no hope, no resistance, and no survivors. In the end, there was nothing left to save, just a dead rock floating in the dark. Magic is a dangerous thing, but the War of the Ancients in Warcraft proves it can literally rip the world in half. The Night Elves got a little too greedy pulling power from a massive magical lake called the Well of Eternity. This massive beacon of magic catches the eye of Sargeras and the Burning Legion, a cosmic army of demons who only exist to burn worlds to ash. The Highborn Elves accidentally open a portal, and an endless tide of demons pours into the world of Azeroth. The defenders are completely overwhelmed. Dragons are driven to madness, immortal demigods are slaughtered like animals, and the planet is on the brink of absolute consumption. The only way to win is the ultimate sacrifice. They have to blow up the Well of Eternity itself. The resulting explosion is so violently massive that it shatters the single supercontinent into pieces, swallowing 80% of the landmass into the ocean. They saved their world by blowing it to pieces. To finish things off, we have to talk about Warhammer 40k, where peace is literally a myth. But the War of the Beast? That was pure nightmare fuel. The Imperium of Man thought they had a moment to breathe. Then the Orcs evolved. Led by a warlord known as the Beast, these aren't your standard mindless green thugs. They are highly intelligent, massive, and they bring attack moons into orbit, literal moons converted into heavily armed battle stations that gravity crush entire planets. The escalation is immediate and terrifying. Trillions are dead in the blink of an eye. The Orcs push so hard they actually besiege Terra, the capital of humanity itself. The Imperium is locked in total galactic gridlock, forced into suicide missions, and sacrificing their greatest heroes just to barely break the Orc momentum. In the grim darkness of the far future, survival is just a delay of execution.